Well, it's time for the last final of the day before we repeat it all tomorrow. OKN Senior Final, 20 laps, 28.5 kilometers. That is coming up next. Very quickly, the lineup. Markus Šilkūnas from Lithuania starts his one on pole position after out-qualifying Luna Flusha in the qualifying heats, but Flusha out-qualifying Markus in qualifying this morning. You get it on, and it is Felipe Carras who start this one on the second row of the grid. Jean Carras and Wojciech Woda in his first appearance in the championship start on row number 3. Brodie Norris and George Nassar round out row 4. They will start ahead of row 5, Maximilian Rafalik and Austin Gale. Gale, who has had some good results at Cremona, is looking to really capitalise now from starting on that 5th row of the grid. Gazi Motlaka, who won the qualifying heats on the second day at the first round at Cremona, starts this one on the 6th row of the grid with Ella Latimer alongside. Charles Lambert and Adam Sador go from row 7. They roll out that row. Sajelski and Kasper Bonda round out row number 8. Good results from them after not having a good qualifying earlier on. Lachlan Hennick and Isaac de Melwyk round out row number 9. Pip Casabene and Charlotte Page give a row 9 and 10 Australian lockout, the 4 Australians in that area. Row 11 is Alessandro Biggie and Truly Adams from the United States of America on row 11. Sofia Sanfari and Bernardo Bonaldi round out row number 12. Bonaldi has had some good results, but then also has struggled with some penalties. Elizaveta Kozlova and Daniel Perez, they round out row number 13. They will have Prix Turiano and Peyton Westcott on row 14. Romeo Nassar and Anastasia Genesis round out row 15 and the 30-kart grid that is about to go racing. Very talented. This is a home circuit, really, for her in this race. And there you can see everyone watching. Now, the brothers have switched places. They're on your screen right now, the 234. That is Austin Gale. And there you saw on the banking there, that was Toby Gale. So the two Gale brothers who look very similar. I can imagine if you put them next to each other, you wouldn't actually be able to tell the difference. Engines fire up. Drivers start to make their way out for this final. It is the last final of the day. Before we end the Saturday's racing here at Valencia for the Lucas Guerrero circuit. Drama at the start. One of the karts is not firing up. It's the 212 that's not firing up. It's Kasper Bonda who's not got away. So that's a nightmare for him. Let's quickly run through the grid just once more. Šilkūnas and Flusha on the front row. Heron and Carras on row 2. Jean Carras and Wojciech Woda go from row 3 with Brodie Norris and George Nassar on row 4. Maximilian Rafalik and Austin Gale on row 5. Gazi Motlaka and Ella Latamea on row 6. Then it's Charles Lambert and Adam Sidor on row 7. Sajelski and Kasper Bonda go from row 8. Then it's Lachlan Hennick and Isaac de Melwyk on row 9. Pip Casabene and Charlotte Page go from row 10. Alessandro Biggie and Truly Adams go from row 11. Sofia Sanfari and Bernardo Bonaldi round out row 12 from Elizaveta Kozlova and Daniel Perez on row 13. Prix Turiano and Peyton Westcott round out row 14. Romeo Nassar and Anastasia Genesis round out the 30-kart grid on row 15. The question all the way throughout this weekend is who out of Markus Šilkūnas and Luna Flusha can best the other. They were fighting their way through the first round at Cremona. They're going to fight their way here. Oh dear, drama there for another driver. That's Adam Sidor now as well in the 215. He's going to try and get it restarted. No, that's 2 attempts now. Adam, you're out of this final. That is a big shame for Adam Sidor. Unfortunately, he would have been starting P14 on the grid. He now sits down in the last marshal post on the circuit. He's got a great view of that final chicane, but he's got a view from it from the sidelines. That is a disaster for Adam, and never a nice feeling to be out of this race before it even gets started. It is a long race, this one, 20 laps, around a 1.4 kilometer circuit, a real demanding race, 28.5 kilometer race distance. And we have live on board for this race, Wojciech Woda, who joins us for the first time this weekend for the Champions of the Future Academy program, his first appearance in the championship. And for the rest of it, of course, as well. The entry covers all of the 6 rounds, so as soon as you're in, well, you're in. So there we go. Great to see if Wojciech Woda joining us at the next one as well for the rest of it. He certainly had a good weekend, but after missing those first rounds, He's not really at this moment in a point-scoring opportunity. He might be at the end of the championship, though. Here we go, then, into the tram lines. Are we green? Yes, we are. Here we go. We're racing. Shilkunis and Flusha, wheel to wheel here. Flusha on the outside line will have to hold on to it, as she does. She does hold on to it into second place. That is a superb start for Luna Flusha. There are carts off the track just in the background. One cart didn't get away too well, and there's more coming together at turn number 3, the pinch point. Drivers just getting clogged into each other. There's, I think, maybe a side pod that's come off a cart as well. There is a side pod that's come off a cart, so one of the carts, there's going to be a technical flag going out for one of the drivers. Race continuing, it's the 240. Well, there we go. That's Lachlan Hennock, unfortunately, the Australian who was starting on the 17th spot off the grid in row 9. We'll see a technical flag, and he'll be out of this race. That is a huge shame for the Australian at the start of this one. Big defensive lunge there for Marcus Shilkunis. Nearly sideways under braking, nearly lost control of his wagon, and says to Flusha, okay, let's try and go, but Flusha's having none of it. Straight down the inside, oh, but she outbrakes herself. Can she hold on to it on the exit? Wheel to wheel with the two of them, and Luna Flusha holds on to it. Nicely done there for Luna Flusha, just holding on to it. I thought she'd outbraked herself into turn 1 there, and so did Marcus Shilkunis. Sent it back down the inside. More action happening thick and fast down here. There, the treble 2 of, I think that is Jean-Paul Carras. Yes, it is. Just trying to hold on to position here. Big send down the inside for his brother Philippe Carras. Now he moves up into second place, but now he's going to have to try and fight it back again. He lost it, and now he retakes it again. Back up into second place. It's Philippe Carras into P2. Shilkunis is down into third place now. Brodie Norris from Australia, his first appearance in the championship. Well, he's looking very strong here in the 2.25. Keep an eye on him, tucking down now. He's right there in P4. Brodie Norris, really strong showing at the start of his appearance in this championship. Here comes the attack again from Marcus Shilkunis. Not close enough this time around. Can't get down the inside, but Brodie Norris leaves the door open for an attack, and now contact happens between the two of them. Through goes Maximilian Rafalik. Rafalik gets the contact, though. Hugo Ron sets the fastest lap of the race now, as well as George Nassar goes through as well. So it's all kicking off here in this front top 10 at the moment. So at the moment, oh, Wojciech Woda's out of this race. He's pulled in. He's pulled into Parc Ferme. He is out of this race. So clearly a technical problem with his kart there. That is not good at all. Well, eyes focused on these battles here. Luna Flusha leads the way at the moment. Now it's Philippe Carras in the 223. This is the battle for second place on your screen. So this is Philippe Carras and Marcus Shilkunis. This is the lowest Shilkunis has been this weekend, is P3. He's always been either second or first. And right now, he's going to have to try and get back past into second place and close in to Luna Flusha, who at the moment is now clear by 1 second. And this is exactly what Flusha did. This is what Flusha did at Cremona as well. Kind of waited, had the, you know, the tough races in the qualifying heats, you know, put them in there. Not going to fight too hard, not going to stress the tyres. Okay, you want to go for first, you go for first. There's some championship points up for grabs. Yes, there is a risk of not gaining those positions or getting those points. But she kept it consistent at Cremona. And she's done the same here now again. Kept it consistent and now waited for the final and pounced. And that's when she's gone. Now, the gap, 1.1 seconds. This battle here, further behind though, George Nassar, Maximilian Rafalik, and Gazi Motlaka, who has come through as well. 4th, 5th, and 6th out on track. And that battle is happening thick and fast here. Down the inside goes Maximilian Rafalik. Motlaka goes through as well. And now George Nassar is down 2 places. And now is under the pressure from Jean Carras as well. Jean Carras in the treble 2, wanting to close in as well as Flusha sets the fastest lap of the race. And a big send down the inside there from George Nassar saying, no, I'd like that back, please. But wheel to wheel now comes Jean Carras and there's contact. Contact between the two of them. And that is Gazi Motlaka who's lost out there, the driver from Mozambique, who has had some really good results in this championship now, is starting to just fade through. Goes the, I think that is the 218, that's Charlotte Page, who's in 9th place now. Charlotte Page, who started this one, P20, is having a fantastic race on this one. 11 positions gained for Charlotte Page. She is fighting her way through the field in this one. That is a superb drive for her. Now Gazmolika just behind in P10. Hugo Aron from Sejelski in P12. Bernardo Bonaldi is up 11 positions as well. P13, as we keep an eye on the battles here happening thick and fast. This is still Jean Carras and George Nassar. Still line astern. This is P5 and P6 at the moment. There you can see gap at the front. Carras is not closing in on Flusha. That battle is non-existent right now. Luna Flusha is driving away from the field once again. A carbon copy of what we saw at Cremona in the final, just biding a time, waiting for the right opportunity to go for it. And that's exactly what we're seeing once again. She's got the fastest lap of the race as well as Flusha, so that'd be an extra championship point that would go her way as well. So she's putting herself in a really, really strong position here now, getting up to 206 championship points now, ahead of Philippe Carras with 169 points. There is Luna Flusha, your current race leader and championship leader as well. 206 points ahead of Philippe Carras, 169. Gazi Motlaka still third in the championship with 113, but Motlaka is tumbling down the order now. He's there into P14, so he's been squeezed out wide just that little bit now, and yeah, he needs to just get back into the groove of things here, get back focused. There's first, there's second, there's third. This is Philippe Carras, second in the championship, ahead of Marcus Shilkunas. Now Shilkunas is up to 7th in the championship standings now with 95 points after the low scoring points he got in the finals at Cremona. He's certainly making up for it here at Valencia. I suspect when we head to Franciacorta next, for the next round in Italy, that'll be the final round of the European stage of the weekend. We then go to the Middle East, to the likes of Al Fassan, Al Ain, and potentially Dubai at the moment, but still all cards on the table here for the drivers. Hugo Aron, fastest lap of the race now, 55.760. Starting to close in. That takes away a championship point from Luna Flusha. I'm sure she won't appreciate that, and I suspect she may go for the fastest lap of the race again. But Philippe Carras might have something to say about that. It's actually gone purple in Sector 2 on this last lap. So the gap, 1.4. We will keep an eye on that gap as it progresses throughout this race. We are only on lap 9 of 20 at the moment. That is Maximilian Rafalik. Now, Rafalik is currently P4 at the moment, 5 positions gained in this race, started P9 and has had a relatively decent weekend, I would say, in and around the top 10, qualifying P7, lost positions in both his qualifying heats, but certainly, again, making up for it in the final. You might find that routine from some drivers, just really holding a consistent form in these qualifying heats to get ready, because again, the tyres, they do run out quickly. They don't last long, so you do have to look after them a little bit. And with the fact that you're only doing 2 qualifying heats and a final, I think puts in the back of your head that you can push these tyres just that little bit more. But doing that puts you in a potential risk factor position at the moment, because, yeah, if you push them too hard in the qualifying heats, you've got nothing for the final. Versus if you don't push them, you don't get anything. Right, down the inside, nice change there, nice move. Hugo Aron making his way through the field here. That was for P9 on Charlotte Page. Now, Aron has got Charles Lambert just ahead in the 2:37. He's trying to go for P8 here, not able to get it down the inside. Marcus Shilkunas now with the fastest lap of the race, 55.681 is that time. Aron gets the move done as well. He goes through, and that's nicely done as well. He'll be delighted with that one. That is another position gained as he hunts down Brodie Norris, who's there in P7, who's a couple of seconds further up the road. Charlotte Page looking to retake that position as well. Page, who has had a really strong race in this final, is starting to pile on that pressure once more to Charles Lambert, but not able to get it done through turn 12 and 13 into the braking zone there. A little later on the brakes, a little bit of contact between the two of them. Yeah, and a check of the shoulder, and I think that was Charles Lambert just saying to Charlotte Page there, you know, don't hit me in the back there. Let's try and push. Let's try and work together here. Let's not battle our way there. So it does cut the corner, and it goes through. But again, another change. Page gets through. That's the question. Lambert goes down to 10th place. Jealousy closing in as well in the 2:11. So that battle happening thick and fast. These battles happening all the way down in the field at the moment in the top 10. Eyes wide, Shilkunis with the fastest up of the race is losing touch with Philippe Carris, and Philippe Carris in protest is dropping off the back of Flusha as well. So the top three not close at the moment while we go on to lap number 11. There is the 2:30 of Heron. There goes through Charlotte Page, Lambert and Sejeleski in that top 11 section through the final chicane. No changes there. Oh, that was a big oversteer moment there for Sejeleski, unfortunately not getting the power down at the right spot there through that final chicane. Loses a little bit more time to the drivers in front. And again, that could be down to, you know, he's used a little bit too much of those tyres. Again, for a lot of these drivers, they might not be used to the tyres that we run here. They might not be used to the chassis or the engines. You know, these drivers come from all sorts of different karting championships from around the world. They all join together to race on exactly the same equipment there. You know, some of these drivers may run on other chassis, other engine manufacturers and all of that. So with everyone here on the Kart Republic chassis, they certainly have to learn a thing or two here. This is Wojciech Woda live on board at the start of the race. Now, he's out of this race, and that will be the reason why. He was one of the drivers who got kicked out at the start of that race. And there you can see those tyres absolutely destroyed then. That part of the track is really, really coarse on a kart. And I think, yeah, he's just thinking, no, there's no point, you know, potentially damaging the car. That's a lot of damage that can come to the underneath of the chassis there when you go onto that gravel. And I think it's a tough decision to bring it in to park firmly and retire the kart. But I think he's just thinking that was the right thing to do. That was the moment where Gazi Motlaka, I think, just started to lose those positions just further down. That was the Page moment with Charles Lambert. Charles Lambert just saying, you know, think at this point, and then Page later getting past. This is back with that same battle. Oh, dust is kicked up there. Who's run off the track there? That is Charlotte Page. Well, just as we were talking about her there, that is, I think, a mistake there, just running out wide out of turn number 13. It is so easily done. It is such a fast part of the circuit, and with the tyres nearing the end of their life at the end of today, it is so easy to just squeeze that power just that little bit too hard. And I think she just ran wide there on the exit of turn 13. Back here, though, with the race leader, Luna Flusha. The gap now, 1.7 seconds clear from Philippe Carris. And Philippe Carris not able to retaliate here. Sector times are slower through Sector 1 on this last lap alone. Sector 2, actually a little bit faster in Sector 2 is Philippe Carris. So it's not doom and gloom at every part of the circuit. Philippe Carris has the pace and is chasing Luna Flusha for first place, but is currently under the very close and probably unwelcome supervision of Markus Shilkunis, who is right there in third place, who is still piling on the pressure. The driver who started on pole position, who's won both of the qualifying heats so far today. Markus Shilkunis, who is setting personal best sectors through Sector 2, but they are not faster than Philippe Carris. But over the course of a lap, the outright consistency is benefiting here, I think, Shilkunis, closing in on this infield section of the lap. We could see a battle here for P2, but the gap at the moment is still comfortable. 0.3 of a second is close, but workable. And it opens up just that little bit more now as they break through the next timing beam, up to half a second now. There you can see it, 0.4 of a second. So still, it's a bit of a stalemate between Carris and Shilkunis. And, well, again, this is, I think, mind games between these drivers, because, yes, you may think, oh, that's the end of the weekend, that's it done. But it's not, because they get to do it all again tomorrow. That's the key to this weekend. It's effectively like 2 rounds in 1 round, and you know, in the grand scheme of things, this is the 3rd point-scoring opportunities these drivers will have had. You class this kind of as round 3, and then it's kind of round 4 tomorrow, even though it's the grand scheme of things. It's round 2 altogether, but the 2 finals over the weekend. So it's not the end of the weekend thinking, that's it, that's the final done. They still get another go at it. And, of course, with the tyres reaching the end of their life, you just don't know when a mistake might happen. We've already seen it from some drivers here running wide on corners. You know, you just don't know when it's going to happen. And things like that. Maximilian Rafalik has just received a warning flag. Now, Maximilian Rafalik is currently in P4, and on my timing screen is racing all by himself at the moment. There is Maximilian Rafalik in the 213. And now, how's he received that? What's he done on track? Because, well, is it track limits? Is it something from the start? Is it something from earlier on and it's only just been reviewed? That's the question, because well, at the moment, he's racing by himself, and it's hard to really do anything wrong when you're by yourself in a racetrack. But clearly, he has been spotted by race control doing something he shouldn't have been doing. And now, unfortunately, for Maximilian Rafalik, a 5-second time penalty. Where would that put him? Maximilian Rafalik, he's 4.8 seconds down from the race leader, so another 5 seconds, that's 9 seconds. It will only drop down a few places. Luckily, the field's quite spread out, but he would drop down into about P9, P10 at the moment as the race stands. That may better as the race progresses. As we go on to lap 18 now of 20, Callas and Shilkunas, two drivers who have been in close proximity, but I would say haven't been in a position where they've been worried about fighting each other. Callas, who qualified third, Shilkunas, who qualified actually second, and then but they've had races where they've been fifth, first, fourth, first. So, you know, they've not been in a real fighting position with each other throughout this weekend. But again, have found themselves line astern in this final here at Valencia. So again, just making their way through this infield lap. You can see there the rubber that's come back down on the circuit after it was all washed away after that second qualifying heat. I gotta say, the seniors were very lucky in that race. Any delay in the schedule that we may have had today, which we didn't, but if we had had any delays, they would have got caught out there, a full grid on slick tyres, and then an absolute downpour of rain would have thrown itself over the circuit. So luckily for them, they didn't have to worry about that one, so they were all fine and clear. Flusha then leads the way. The gap is 2 seconds now. This gap, though, I mean, it says it's half a second. I don't want to believe that at the moment, because this looks like the closest that Shilkunas has ever been to Felipe Carras right now. And that may just be the concertina effect as they close in through the tight, twisty section. And when it opens up here, it regains position. We'll see what it is when they next cross a timing movement, which will be the exit of this corner just here. This is where they go into sector 3. And, well, it says it's about 0.4 of a second right now. So it's roughly the same gap, but it looks to be closing in. This is a little further down in the order. All the way back down to the battle P5. Jean Callas, George Nassar, and Brody Norris. Sejeleski also seeing a warning flag now at this point of the weekend. Now, he is currently in P9, all on his own, right behind this battle here. So there we go. It just shows that, you know, race control probably looking at back events in this one and just catching up to themselves here and are throwing out these 5-second time penalties to the drivers who they feel is deemed necessary. We go on to the last lap of this race then, and Luna Flusha, who, well, I've got to say, I think has timed this decision to really punch it through, use these tyres, use the kart, break away from the rest of the field. I think has timed it perfectly. Is clear by 2.3 seconds, and the third final of the season. It's 3 out of 3 finals. It's Luna Flusha across the line. She takes her third final win of the season. Luna Flusha for Spain wins in Spain on Saturday here at Valencia. Superb drive for Luna Flusha. Uncontested there at the end of that one. Certainly had to fight through the qualifying heats this weekend, but come the final, delivered perfectly. Did Luna Flusha, and she sits on top once more. 50 championship points, and actually on that last lap, I think got the fastest lap of the race as well. It wasn't the last lap, but she did take that fastest lap back, so she gets the extra championship point as well. So if you want to put insult to injury to any other driver out there, Luna Flusha just did it. Her third final win of the season. It's Luna Flusha ahead of Felipe Carras. Marcus Shilkunas finishes in third place. That's his best final result of the season so far as well. He bumps himself up in the championship. Well, those drivers will make their way back into Parc Fermé. Of course, all the results we talk about here are provisional, of course, pending anything. Let's have a look at the full results. We've done the top 3. Rafalek finishing in 4th, but he's got a 5-second time penalty. Jean Callis from George Nassar, Brody Norris, Hugo Heron, Sejeleski in 9th. He has a 5-second time penalty as well, as Charles Lambert just behind as well. They'll move up. Gazi Mollica finishing in 11th place from Bernardo Bonaldi, 12 positions gained. Pip Casabene finishing in 13th place from Casper Bonder in 14th. Charlotte Page, despite that going off the track earlier on,